Hello and welcome to episode 30 of the Real Serious Podcast. As always, I'm your host Hunter, along with Jack and Charles. And Charles is at his last week in New York City. Is you kind of bummed out? Like,
Man.
I know New York is
Super
not
sad.
the most fun place, and people like either love it or hate it. But it's pretty cool that you're like surrounded by everything you'd probably ever need ever within walking distance.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool.
Well, I have to take the subway to get to an AMC though.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, honestly, yeah. But that's a good thing and it's a blessing and a curse because
Yeah.
you're really close to everything, but also that kind of encourages you to just spend money constantly. Like, oh, I'm right next to a Cava, might as well eat out tonight, So if I was like living here, I feel like I would just eat out super often, But
yeah,
the public transportation is really nice. I will say that. And it is convenient being so close to everything. I don't know. I just think it's a little too busy for me. Like in Denver, I'm staying east of the city, like 3 miles in a house because I didn't want to be like right downtown. So it's not really my vibe. But it's been cool being here for 4 weeks. I didn't really like it last year. I like it a lot more this year because I think I've had time to like kind of understand how this place runs and like explore a little bit. So overall, 2 thumbs up.
A great place to visit, maybe not to live.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. And then Jack's going back to Bloomington. Back home.
Yeah. I got one more week and then I go back home for a little bit and then I go to Bloomington. So it's kind of crazy how fast summer's gone by. It feels like I literally just joined the podcast. I feel like it's just kind of like flown by. But
I know, I think this is like your 10th or like 11th episode already.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Nuts to me.
So just really
doing this has been super fun. I feel like it's kind of given me something to look forward to every week. So it's been fun in that regard. But then, it's just summer just flies by, dude. I don't know what happened this summer.
I'm ready for the cold though. I won't lie. Like I walked out of work yesterday and I was like instantly like hot and sticky. And I was like, nope, I would like 45 degrees. Yep. I'd like it to be a little crisp in the air. I'd like to feel like football is about to start.
Definitely.
But we're getting close to that because the first game of the season,
1 month.
1 month football. There is college football during this month we're in. And we had our first NFL game with the Hall of Fame game. So we're there.
We're
so exciting.
I was talking about that training. I was like, oh my God, we got 1 more month. And everyone's like, okay.
Baby.
Everyone's like, all right, what's in a month? I'm like, football. And they're like, okay. I'm like,
so
do I just not share any? Do I not share any of the same interests as anyone here? No one watches movie. Just no one watches football.
No, they just work. They just work and think about what they're going to work on next.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Jack, you put in the rundown that you have a bone to pick.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with that? Because I also have a bone to pick with something.
Sure. It's so it is so small. I have a bone to pick with you, Chuck.
Oh.
No, I'm joking.
What did I do?
I'm joking. So I'm sitting in the theater getting ready to watch Trap, and I can't help but notice that the Smile 2 trailer comes on. And I don't know about you guys, but I swear I've seen this trailer like 1,000 times already.
Bad trailer.
I am so sick of it. And I swear if I have to see the Smile 2 trailer one more time, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. Because I swear I've seen this trailer at least like 10 or 11 times in theaters already. So it's like when I go to the movies, I'm fully prepared to see the Smile 2 trailer.
Just show up later.
See, I agree with you, but about a different trailer. I think the Speak No Evil trailer with James McAvoy, I've seen
it shows so much
150 times.
I kind of like that trailer though.
Angry that I have to watch it again.
I kind of like watching that trailer. It kind of gets me fired up for that movie.
Well, it's not like either of these movies are movies that I'm not interested in or I don't want to go see, but I've seen the trailer so many times that I really just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Smile
And
2, that was brutal. It's a brutal trailer.
I mean,
agree.
it's not even that. It's like I don't even think it's like that bad of a trailer. It's just like I know what's coming. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know how to explain it. But I'm glad that we can see eye to eye and that we are in the same boat, but just with different trailers.
Somewhat related question. Is the lead actress in Smile 2 the girl from Lemonade Mouth?
Yeah. Yes, Naomi
Oh, okay.
Watts.
Still active.
It
That's
is?
cool. Yeah.
She was in a $1 billion movie 3 years ago. She was the lead in Aladdin, where she was Jasmine.
Never watched that.
That's her?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
She's also
I had
in
no
Charlie's Angels
idea.
reboot.
Dang, man.
All right,
Yeah,
my
so I
other
didn't know
bone
she
to pick.
acted. This must be her first big thing since Lemonade.
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
I didn't notice it because of the blonde hair. And they got her in Smile.
My other bone to pick is people just don't know how to go see a movie now. Okay, so like
Oh my god. Oh my
for
god.
Trap, so for Trap, I sat in the back because I was like, all right, it was kind of full in the front, and I was like, I feel like this is a movie where like it's gonna invite teenagers to go, which great helps make more money for the movie. So it's like I'll sit in the back farther away from people so that people aren't talking near me. Because I sat in the back though, I could see when everyone was on their phone. And like every 2 minutes, someone would like all over the crowd would be like phone, phone, phone. It's like, how are you that addicted where you cannot wait the 90 minutes that this movie was to check your phone? And also, it's not, I went to a 10 p.m. screening. So it's not like it was like a 7 p.m. where like someone might have to check their work phone every once in a while. Like 10 p.m., nothing is really happening. And it drove me nuts. And I was like, I honestly think that ever since COVID, this is how people act in movie theaters because they like had that year off where they just watched everything at home and they just forgot how to do it. And it makes me so annoyed. But that was my other bone.
The dude next to me, I've had 2 just strange movie experiences in a row. The first one was Deadpool Wolverine when the guy was like, ah, but there's that, and the woman next to me when I sat down was just like eating a whole meal. Had like a Jimmy John's sandwich and like all this other stuff.
I had a vapor at Trap. The dudes would just put, like blow massive clouds.
And Jimmy John's, it's like you could mistake a deli sandwich for like BO. Is that just me?
Well, if it's Jimmy John's, yeah, because Jimmy John's is not good.
You can mistake the contents of a deli sandwich as BO. So I sat down and I just took a whiff and I was like, geez, this is going to be a stinky movie. And then I look over and it's Jimmy John's. I'm like, okay, well, that's like better. But I was just like, how are you eating Jimmy John's in the middle of a movie theater? Where'd you get, like, how'd you smuggle it in? So there's that. And then Trap yesterday, I was sitting next to this couple and they just were like talking, kind of like whispering to each other the entire time. And every time something funny happened, this guy must have had some like weird twitch thing because his leg would just like twitch out of control a couple times.
Whoa.
Like tap the ground. It's like, what is going? But I didn't really encounter many phones, at least none that I noticed.
I had them today, and they were bothering me.
We also had recliners, and I was all the way back, so I couldn't see.
Oh, I had recliners also. It's just like right between the gaps. It was like,
you should have said something. Hey, we're watching a movie.
I'm not gonna like get up and walk 3 rows down and be like, "Excuse me, stop it."
It's movie time. We're watching
it's movie time. Please, please, please.
Did I tell you guys about my Kingdom of the Apes experience? I don't remember if I got over that. So I wanted to see Kingdom of the Apes, and obviously I wasn't here when it originally came out. Really wanted that sounds all right. So I went to go see it like super late. Like no one's going to these screenings. When I'm going to pick my seat, there's no one there. So I pick obviously the middle seat. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And on my way to the theater is like hours later. I'm checking my phone just to see if anyone else happened to join me in the theaters, and one person did, and they decided to sit right next to me. And I'm just
Oh.
like, I'm just
That's
like,
crazy.
all right, this person is either gonna be like really cool or like the weirdest dude I've ever met.
Yeah, serial killer.
And so like, and I was sitting there and I was like in the movie theater, and I'm like, you know what? It's probably just best that I distance myself from this person. So I initially sat like 2 seats away, and then this guy shows up, and I'm just like so glad I did. I was honestly like terrified. He left like halfway through, which was kind of weird too. So that's that. But
That is a
really,
crazy experience.
That's crazy.
really, that I'm so glad I checked, because that just like, if I was just sitting there and some dude sat in that, like, I've only had that happen not one other time, but when I went to go see Dune for the third time, I picked my seat, and I got to the movie theater super early, and I'm like the first person in the theater. And obviously, you had to pick your seats, or your assigned seats. And this guy, another guy, walks into the theater, and literally he's sitting right next to me, just because we're assigned next to each other. And the theater's packed. But it's like out of the odds that like the first 2 people that are at the
Dude.
movie theater.
That happened to me when I went and saw The Flash last year. I got there like really early because like work ended and I had nothing else to do. So I was like, I'll just get there and sit down. I sat down like 30 minutes early. Only one in there. Dude walks in. The guy right next to me.
Yes.
Then the third dude that walked in was also in our row, like 2 down from him. And then it started to fill up. But it was just very weird. It's like, what are the odds of that?
Maybe we could start an experiment to see it. What are the odds of?
Maybe it's just like people who are early pick those same seats because you're like,
exactly,
oh, that's the seat I want.
Or people seem to care a bit more if they get those extra hard seats to get.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know.
Agreed.
That's diabolical.
Right. Sorry, that went really farther than what I thought it would, but
like
great discussion.
Great discussion. All right. What did we watch this week? Did I go first last week? I think
you can go first again. Go first again.
Okay. Yeah, mine is very short. I only have Trap this week, which we'll talk about later. About once a year, I will do a catch up on shows that I've missed week, and that was this week for me. So besides Trap, which is the movie I watched, I caught up on The Bear. I'd never seen it before, and I am almost done with season 3 now. I've loved it so far. It is incredible. Very stressful. So coming after a nice long day's work to then watch that is something. But it does make me want to get really good at cooking. So I think I'm going to start doing that. And then also fully caught up on House of the Dragon. So last episode comes out tonight, the finale. Very excited for that. And then I didn't get to start it because I really wanted to, though. But the new Batman show came out. So hopefully next week I'll be able to talk a little Batman Cape Crusader because I would like to watch that. But I want to finish The Bear first. So yeah, that is what I've been watching this week.
So glad you're watching The Bear.
It's so good. I'm like blown
awesome.
away that I haven't jumped on the train yet. I just am not a big TV guy. I just don't watch a lot of TV, so that was my.
It's like the perfect binge show because each 30-minute episode is so good, and you can just like.
It is so good.
Fly through it.
Yeah.
You want to go next, Chuck? I feel like I have a lot this week.
Sure. Yeah, this guy.
I've just got 2. Trap, which we'll discuss, and I watched Alien for the first time. I gave it 4.5. I really liked it. I wrote in my review, I'm not sure if you guys read it. It's kind of like Jurassic Park without music and space. Not sure if you guys agree or disagree with that. But as I was watching, I was like, okay, it's kind of just like Jurassic Park. Like same vibe.
That's a very interesting take.
You think? I liked it a lot.
I don't think I've ever. No, I know. I'm glad you did. I just don't think I've ever heard that take. I think that you would like Aliens more than Alien.
But I gave Alien a 4.5.
I understand that. I just think that the way that you like the movies that you will like Aliens more than Alien.
All right. I also watched 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Jesus.
Oh, big yawn. Big yawn.
I watched 10 minutes of Just Alex beekeeping. Not sure if you guys have seen
I know
him.
Just Alex Beekeeping, the beekeeper guy who's British.
Yeah.
Dude, yes. I love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
I watched
guy
10 minutes
rocks.
yeah.
Oh,
I
thought I
the reason I
only knew
asked,
him.
because I have walked in and seen you watching his gardening and beekeeping videos.
They're great. They're great videos.
They're so relaxing.
They're
So I
so
watched it
relaxing. I
last night.
learn a lot. It's like it's like the bear the opposite. It's like completely calm doing cool work versus stressful doing cool work.
Yeah. So I watched him last night while it was raining out and I was eating my Dave's hot chicken. It was a vibe.
Dave's.
That's all I got. Jack.
I feel like I'm just so. I had to look up Alex the Beekeeper. I feel like I'm so
Dude,
out
he
of
is
touch.
so great. He's so great.
Just Alex.
Maybe during my
you should watch like 10 minutes, Jack, and you'll be like, this guy's the man.
He is the man. That's a fact.
That's crazy. All right. Well, this week was actually. I had a lot going on this week, but this weekend I necessarily didn't really have much to do, so I watched a lot. Last weekend I saw Deadpool Wolverine again. Still had a really good time. I think I could feel that it wasn't as good as the first time, which was fine. And I think part of that is having like the packed theater. My theater is still packed, and I think most people that I went to go see it, or it appeared that most people in the theater that I'd seen it with hadn't seen it before, so they were kind of like shocked and stuff. And I don't know. I feel like that kind of adds to the experience at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
Definitely.
I moved that down to 3.5 stars. Still good though. And then I watched Trap this week, which we'll get to later.
Mhm.
Then I watched Dee Dee, which is kind of like a coming of age film. Really, I mean, I can read the synopsis. 2008, during the last month of summer before high school begins, an impressionable 13-year-old Taiwanese American boy learns what his family can't teach him: how to skate, how to flirt, and how to love your mom. Honestly, I love this movie. I was talking to Hunter about it, that I hate that it's like a limited release right now.
I know.
Because
I wish I could see it.
I would love to talk about this movie. I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. And coming of age movies are always like hit or miss for me. I feel like they either like hit me emotionally or they don't. And I feel like this one definitely got me in a couple areas, which I don't know. I really hope that we can talk about this, even if it's just like briefly for a little bit, because I had an absolute blast with this. So yeah, that was my doubleheader with Trap. And then I decided to watch If Imaginary Friends, John Krasinski's new movie. No reason why I wanted to watch that. I just saw that it was on Paramount and I had some free time. And I was like, you know what? I'll just like throw it on. Honestly, I think I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't anything mind blowing, but it was cute. You know, it's a kid's movie. And then I did another doubleheader at AMC the night after Trap. I saw Sing Sing, which is about rehabilitation through the arts in this prison. Honestly, it was phenomenal. I loved it. I don't know if they have I think is it still limited, or it came out?
It's been limited for the last 6 months. It's been slowly trickling out.
Okay, I want to say it finally had its theatrical release this past Thursday. So
okay,
but it sounds like it's been limited for the past month, and technically it's a 2023 movie.
Yeah,
I guess that's when but I'm pretty sure it's going to be up for all the up for Oscars this year.
Yeah, it hasn't even crossed $500,000 at the box office. It is so limited.
Yeah, but it was fantastic. Honestly, if you guys have a chance to go see it, I'd totally recommend it. I thought it was really touching. Obviously, the performances, which blew me away, is just the cast. I don't want to. I mean, I feel like I'm not ruining anything, but the individuals in these movies are basically playing themselves. Besides Coleman Domingo, which I haven't seen a lot of Coleman Domingo stuff, but he was really, really good. I really liked him in this. Yeah, honestly, can't recommend that movie enough. Probably one of my top 5 movies for this year. I don't know. Very emotional. You get very connected to these characters. Very good movie. And then right after that, I got to see the best movie of the year, Harold and the Purple Crayon.
I cannot believe you went and saw that.
Well, I was just like, all right. Well, I went to the movies and I saw Sing Sing, and I'm like, you know what?
Let's
I
Purple
have
Crayon it.
nothing. I have nothing better to do tonight. So I'm like, you know what?
Crazy.
I'm just gonna go watch Harold and the Purple Crayon. I think it was just me and like this woman and their little kid. Someone else, I think, had popped in there for like 40 minutes and just watched a little bit and then just left. It was fine. It was I don't really know what else to describe it. I mean, I think my letterbox kind of summed it up perfectly. I truly had nothing better to do
That's insane.
on a Friday night. But gave
It's
it
good.
1.5
It might
stars.
get, let's see, it might get $3 million this opening weekend. That's it.
Yeah, I to be
Yikes.
completely honest, I'm not saying this in a mean way at all, but it's like I'm just surprised that this movie got like made, you know?
It screams streaming, which is even crazier.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm
It
Like
saying.
if you put
screams
this,
children's book and only that.
like, why would this
I
not be on Netflix? This is like,
I-
I feel people would watch it if it was on Netflix.
I will say about this movie, it's very interesting because there are like towards the end, you're thinking like, oh, the Purple Crayon, like they did not utilize this thing as much as they should have. Like this guy should be like, oh man, I'm hungry, and then just like drawing like food on the spot every 5 minutes. There was a scene where he drew ice cream, and it literally looks like a Snapchat filter. Like if I were to like
Crazy.
have a Snapchat filter of an ice cream cone in my hand, and they're just like, and obviously like it's supposed to be like made to look like it's like drawn from this magic crayon. All right. I just want to restate too, this is a kids movie. I'm not trying to like dig at this kids movie because it is a kids movie. It was not for me. But there's the bad guy. You guys aren't going to see this.
No.
Okay. The bad guy is a librarian who wants to create this like Middle Earth type world through his books, but his book's not getting a lot of attention. So he's like, I'm going to try and steal the crayon to create my world, and then they will see. And for some reason, I was just thinking like Zack Snyder. He's just like, I will force these people to watch my world, because he's literally just like, he came out with like Rebel Moon Part 1, Rebel Moon Part 2. Now it's Rebel Moon, the director's cut. It's like, dude, come on, bro. Like enough is enough.
Yeah.
Enough
I
is like,
would like to watch the director's cut, but I don't have 5 hours to spare.
Yeah.
That is
that's just like
ridiculous. It's 5 hours.
Exactly. I mean, who's gonna dedicate 5 hours when Rebel Moon? I don't know.
Depressing.
I feel like sorry, I'm going on pretty long, but and then this kind of like got me thinking about like drafts. So essentially, at the end of the movie, they send this librarian who's like trying to like take over the world. They're like, you can live in this world. So like he creates like this portal and sends him into his own world, and it got me thinking like, what, this is probably a discussion for another time, but like what world or what movie universe would you want to live in if like you had to choose one, or maybe had to choose like your top 5 or something like that?
Muppets.
I don't know.
Muppets
Not that
real.
it could be. You'd want to be a Muppet?
I'd want the Muppets to be real. I'd like that to be like the truth. Like it'd just be our world, but the only thing that's different is the Muppets are actually real.
Pokemon.
Because like you wouldn't want to
Dragon.
pick other worlds because you're not the hero of that story. Like you wouldn't want to pick like the Marvel universe because you're not a superhero. Like
Yeah,
you're just gonna be a dude.
You're just a
Yeah, like right now Charlie would be
collateral.
getting his window blown
damage.
through because the Avengers are fighting someone. Like, and he's just sitting here trying to record the
Yeah.
podcast.
Well, I feel like Harry Potter would be sweet.
But you're not a wizard, so
but
you
you're not
wouldn't
magic
know.
user.
How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because you're not
Well,
a little
Jack-
British boy.
You're not a magic user. You're not a magic user.
Like I'd want to pick like the most like I'd want to pick like Ocean's 11, like just so that I know in my universe that they robbed those casinos. Like that'd be cool.
I don't know. Like, I feel like even
Or
if I'm not, like, I feel like
Pokemon.
Star Wars. I mean, even if you're
But
not the main character, I feel like that's a
okay.
sweet universe to live in.
But are you on
Yeah.
Earth and you don't know all this because it's on a galaxy
No,
far, far away?
you're living in their universe.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Okay. Fair
Sorry, I
enough.
went. All right, but that just got me thinking about that. And then Alfred Molina like narrates that, which his voice immediately like pops on the screen, or like you hear it on the screen. I'm just like, I know this guy.
Yeah.
And then by the second time he started speaking, I was like, I know who that is. And then, sorry, I'm almost done. Then last night I just had a crazy itch to watch Madam Web.
That's insane.
So
Yeah, that's disgusting.
You need
That's
to get
terrible.
checked. You need to get checked. That is.
I decided to watch Madam Web, which, yeah, I really don't have much to say about Madam Web. It's taken me this
Jack
long
knows
to
that
watch
his
it.
reviews were skewing too high, so he tried to juice the bottom of his
No.
Try to bring him down.
I want you guys to
Yeah.
if you can notice the trend. But then my last movie of the night, I was like, you know what? I
Gotta watch some real cinema.
the real cinema was Ricky Stenicki, and honestly,
Did I inspire it?
no, I was just like thinking about it all day, and it was funny enough that you just texted. I don't know. I liked it. I thought John Cena carries the crap out of this movie, and I love Zac Efron.
Yeah.
This is not Zac Efron's best movie, but like he still has some funny lines at points. But the rest of the cast I didn't necessarily love, and I don't think the humor necessarily landed for a lot of that. But I had a great time, honestly. I thought it was like going on so much longer than it needed to, but it was like
Yeah.
so fun. Like honestly, by the end I was like, you know what? There was multiple times where I fully was just laughing in my room, and I'm just like, dang man, I'm just like laughing in here by myself. I'm like,
Hunter and I both.
I feel like that's funny.
We both decided that like John Cena was the movie.
He was
the rest of the
fantastic.
movie was
Yeah.
yeah. John Cena was great.
I mean, the scene where he's up on stage singing the different songs, I was just cackling in here, dude. Like I thought like some of them weren't that funny, but then like you know, one would play and I'm just like, dude, this is just like so out there. I don't know. But I don't know if you guys could tell, but basically I was just watching a ton of movies from this year. I was trying to catch up from movies I haven't seen this year that you guys have. I think The Beekeeper is next up on my list. I know that you guys hold that
That's a
in
good
pretty
one.
high regard.
That is
so
a very good movie.
hopefully
That's a
it
good
doesn't
one. That's
let you guys down. But no, I've literally been on a spree. I've watched nothing but new movies since Deadpool and Wolverine, which has limited me significantly to mediocre movies. Which that's okay though.
Bunch of
Because
shitters.
honestly, I mean, they all hold value in one way or another. They just may not be my favorite movies. So, yeah, that's my week. Sorry that took so long.
Hey, no worries.
All good.
All right, let's get into some news, I guess. The Oscars. The Oscars are looking for a host. Apparently, they're not going back to Jimmy Kimmel. Thank God. And they offered it to John Mulaney, who said no. So they're searching for an Oscars host right now. So I would like to obviously toss our names in the hat. I'm wearing my Oscars hat right now. So
That's
maybe I'll
fire.
throw it in this hat. I think we'd be great hosts. Oscars, if you're listening. Actually, I know you're listening. Let's be honest with ourselves. And if it's not us because of scheduling conflicts or something, understandable. You need to have someone funny. Like you got to bring it back. It's been too boring the last few years. And Jimmy Kimmel is so boring. So you got to do something good, or just have no host. Just do no host. Don't need a
Put
host.
Jack Black up there. Put
I
Jack
saw
Black
some-
up there or something.
The Muppets should do this.
I saw something saying like somebody would want Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, not that it's going to happen, but honestly, I wouldn't mind Jennifer
That's also
Lawrence.
a good one.
I like Jennifer
I just think they
Lawrence.
should have no. There is a big rumor right now. They're going to do the Only Murders in the Building crew.
Hmm. I love
So
them.
that would be interesting, I guess.
Do like the Steve Martin.
Yeah, Martin Short and Selena
Steve
Gomez.
Martin would
Like
be
have those
awesome.
three.
Yeah, that's. I like. I mean, I don't watch the show, but that cast alone has enough humor to actually make it work.
Yeah.
Steve Martin's hilarious, dude.
I love Steve
You
Martin.
could even
If we
have
were-
Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman host.
Yeah.
Just please. No Jimmy Kimmel. No Amy Schumer, please.
You don't want
Please.
Amy Schumer?
She did it like 2 years ago and it was brutal. So bad.
Well, when that comes, when they announce it, we're gonna be excited. What is
Yeah.
going on, boys? Excuse me.
He's dying.
I need the.
But yeah, the Oscars.
Dying to be
it's
on
a
the
long way
Oscars.
away. Also, I am little hint for the podcast.
Nice
I
cup,
am,
Jack.
yeah, it's a nice cup. I'm designing a trophy for us so that when we do our own version of the Oscars come award season, we'll have a trophy to give out. So be ready.
Cannot
we have
wait.
to also come up with a name for what our Oscars are going to be called, but we'll think about that later. All right. Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is reported playing Hulk Hogan in a new movie about Gawker. So obviously Hulk Hogan, everyone knows, but Gawker was a website that would basically leak people's private stuff. And it released a video recording of Hulk Hogan and Heather Clem doing things. And that was a big, obviously, controversy, and Hulk Hogan sued them and won from the website. So they're making a movie about that story. And apparently it's going to have Ben Affleck starring, who doesn't look like Hulk Hogan and is not even like the size of Hulk Hogan. So we'll see how that's going to work.
I don't even know who Hulk Hogan is, if I'm being honest. I've heard that name so many times, but I don't know who it is.
He's a famous wrestler. He's got like the mustache. It's like this, like the U on his face.
Like the handle.
He's like, "What's up, brother? How you doing, brother?" That guy.
Okay.
He's got like a
So
blonde mullet.
what I heard from that is there's gonna be a Pam and Tommy Part 2 with Ben Affleck as Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, you summed it up pretty good. Yeah, 100%.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's supposed to be another Hulk Hogan movie about with Chris Hemsworth starring as him, and that has been in like development hell for a long, long time. So I don't know. We'll see if we even get either of these. Next up, we don't have a ton of news today, and a lot of it is pretty just eh. This one, Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill has been trying to get this Warhammer 4000 show for years. And apparently now there might be a rights issue. So unless they can come to a creative agreement by December 2024, it may not happen. And like, that sucks. He cannot get a win. I feel so bad for Henry Cavill. It's not even like funny at this point.
Why?
He lost Superman. And then like this isn't going to work out for him. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. like didn't end up becoming a franchise like it was supposed to be. Like I feel like every time he gets something, it just like is not what it is. Like it needs to be. And I think
But he's
really
still
good.
the man.
Yeah, but like he's just not. I don't know, like in stuff that he needs to be.
You should write him a letter, Chuck.
Yeah,
Hey,
tell me he's still the
Henry.
man.
You know, I know your luck with some of the roles you've been getting recently hasn't been.
The Witcher is a good
Really
example. Like
wanted.
he left that show because they wanted to go away from the books and the game, and he was like, "No, we shouldn't deviate." And then they were like, "All right," so he left, and then they made a bad third season. It stinks.
Well, that's on them.
I know, it just stinks.
Well, we support Henry Cavill. He's
We
our
do.
king.
We're Henry Cavill podcast, and we also Highlander is coming up soon, so maybe that's gonna be great. Hopefully. But yeah, Henry Cavill needs to catch a break because he's our handsome king. And also the man, like, I don't know, the Ministry of Ungenderly Warfare I thought was pretty decent. And he's good in it. Also, Enola Holmes.
Really cool.
Jack, if you want to watch some more movies you probably missed, Enola Holmes 1 and 2. Solid Netflix joints.
One and two.
Yeah.
Not great.
He's a
They're not
great
great. Well, I haven't
Sherlock
seen two.
Holmes. He's a great Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
also not the main character. You follow him.
True.
Okay.
Sweet, that's the sound you just made.
That was so cooked. That was so messed up.
Well, don't disrespect my king like that.
I love Henry Cavill. When did I disrespect him? Henry Cavill's not the lead in that movie.
He is to me.
Yeah, to me.
That's not even close. Britney Spears biopic. We're getting another biopic, another musical biopic, as we always talk about every single week.
Biopics. Can we stop?
It's coming from John M. Chu, who I believe is directing The Wicked 1 and 2, coming out later this year. And it's based on her memoir, The Woman in Me.
So is this one coming out in between George and Paul, or?
Yeah, that's actually tied to the Ringo story. So.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this
What
is
if
like
we just
Ringo
stopped with the biopics? What if we didn't have biopics for like 10 more years, and then we did the same?
We're actually it's a musical cinematic universe where Britney Spears and Bob Dylan are gonna assemble to defeat the Beatles.
I'd like to talk to you about the Beatles.
Off of the top of my head, we have 7 music biopics coming out in the next 3 years.
Okay, let's
we
see.
have
We got
all the Beatles.
All the Beatles.
We have
Michael Jackson, Bob Dylan.
Michael Jackson. Bob Dylan.
We can do more. We can do more. This. Wait, hang on. We can do more. Come on. I think there's definitely another one. This is bothering me now. But anyway. Yeah, we're getting. I just think it's crazy. We've caught up to like 2000s.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna get like a Billie Eilish biopic in the next 5 years.
Pharrell Williams.
Oh, the Pharrell Williams Lego
Pharrell
movie.
Williams.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but that's Lego,
another one
so
that's this
different.
year. That's
a
biopic.
Crazy stupid.
Another little recommendation is if you guys get time, you should watch Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. It is a parody of the biopic genre, and it's very good.
Okay.
Oh yeah, last year we got the Weird Al Yankovic movie. We got Rocket Man. Back to Black just came out, and no one saw it.
Bob Marley.
Yeah, Bob Marley. Tick Tick Boom, which I love.
Fantastic.
Good movie.
So good.
Wow, we've gotten so many.
Yeah.
There's also the guy from The Bear is doing one. He is going to be
Elvis, Bohemian Rhapsody.
The Bear star biopic. Hang on, let me see the one he's in. Yeah, he's gonna be Bruce Springsteen. That's right. Jeremy Allen White is doing a Bruce Springsteen biopic called Deliver Me from Nowhere. So it's another one.
I'd love to see him in like everything.
It's about the making of the album Nebraska. There we go.
No more.
All right, another one.
Give us a break. Give us 5 years without biopics.
I need a break. Well, next piece of news is not a biopic. I'll be honest, it's not a biopic. It is I don't know how I would describe this genre. But SNL, Saturday night, about the opening show of Saturday Night Live. It is coming October 11th, apparently, which crazy we haven't got a trailer for it yet. Starring Willem Dafoe, Finn Wolfhard, Dylan O'Brien, J.K. Simmons, Lamone Morris, Rachel Sonnet, Nicholas Braun, Kaya Gerber, Andrew Barth Feldman. Oh, his cast is awesome. What?
So good.
I don't like Finn Wolfhard.
Well, he's just playing a page, so don't worry. But like, it's about the first episode of SNL. This kind of sounds
That is a good cast.
Awesome. It's directed by Jason Reitman, whose obviously father is Ivan Reitman, who is very famous for his like Ghostbusters, a lot of 80s comedies, a lot of things with that group of people who came from SNL. So he got a lot of inside stories. So he's a co-writer on this. I kind of love SNL. Like, it's definitely gone downhill in the last few years. But I just really love SNL. So I'm excited to see this movie.
I love the idea for this movie. I just
Right?
think it's
Like,
gonna be. I feel like the aesthetic, especially like set during the first season, I think
yeah,
I think aesthetically it has a chance to just look pretty.
yeah.
And then you already have all these. I mean, like this cast is just so deep. I mean, holy cow!
This is a
Yeah.
It's
great
like
cast.
unreal. Like I go on Letterboxd and I'm scrolling, and the fact that I get to Willem Dafoe after like a full scroll down is just outrageous.
It's insane. I wonder how Dylan O'Brien is going to be
Yeah.
as Dan Aykroyd. I don't know if I fully get Aykroyd vibes.
Well, I haven't seen him in much since like The Maze Runner.
I haven't either. Didn't he take a break? I think he had an accident, right?
Yeah,
some
he
car
almost did
accident.
die on the Maze Runner. I do remember that.
Whoa.
Yes. Oh, I do. I saw him in a movie a couple of years ago that was actually pretty decent. It was trying to find the name of it. American Assassin. That was a good movie. He was also the voice of Bumblebee in Bumblebee. He was in Love and Monsters. He was in Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's right. He was in Not Okay, which I really enjoy. Zoe Deutsch feature. And yeah, he's been in a couple things, but not as big.
Mhm.
Maybe we're in the Dylan O'Brien resurgence now.
I'm
He's
for
back.
it.
I wouldn't mind that.
I like Dylan O'Brien.
I do too.
All right, and our last piece of news that is not DC or Marvel related. Welcome to Derry, the prequel It TV show has wrapped filming, so we're gonna get that on Max sooner rather than later. Hopefully, probably 2025. Which,
Wait, it's on Max?
yes, you know it's gonna be good.
Incoming awesome show.
Yeah, incoming banger alert. Hello.
Oh my God.
I know.
Probably not going to watch it.
Yeah, probably
I
not.
I
Are you
love
guys gonna watch
Pennywise.
I
I
like
might.
Pennywise.
Oh.
I like it. I like the
Alright.
new It movies, which is what this is the prequel to. So
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I will
Bill
definitely-
Skarsgård is just electric. I feel like it's impossible not to want to watch more of him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe I'll watch too. Maybe.
but yeah, all right, let's get into some comic talk because we're contractually obligated to do that every single week.
Yep.
DC apparently has cast their Booster Gold. Right now, this is a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, it is Kumail Nanjiani. He has been cast allegedly as Booster Gold, which is kind of exciting because I think he's a very funny,
Gold.
good actor, and that's a very different pick for Booster Gold, who is usually the blonde bombshell, I would say. So everyone kind of was hoping it was be Glenn Powell or a Zac Efron type, but then going with Kumail, I think kind of is very different. But obviously he is extremely jacked, so that kind of works well. And he's definitely got the comedic chops for it.
Or at least he was jacked 3 years ago.
I think he's still pretty jacked.
No, I remember
pretty
for
sure
the
he's still
Eternals,
jacked.
everybody's like, "Holy cow, this is just jacked now."
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
pretty jacked. I'm looking at
It
photos of him right
sucks
now.
the
He's pretty big.
Eternals like kind of went nowhere.
And I think I only watched it once, and that's not one I continue to revisit. But I think the Eternals is.
It might come up later. It might come up later in our draft.
It might. I think it's a little hated on. I think it's
agree.
better.
It looks
I think
like
it's
he's-
better than what people give it. I
think it's quite good.
I think it's enjoyable, man. And I think it's so different from. All right, we'll get there later.
We'll get there.
later.
We'll get there when we get there.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. But yeah, Booster Gold. There is getting a show coming to HBO and Max. So, you know, it's going to be good. I know,
Another
I know.
show on Max.
I know.
Christmas came
I know.
early this year, fellas.
Yeah, it did. In the form of DC shows coming to Max. All right, the next two pieces of news kind of tie together. And that is that Superman has wrapped filming. Comes out July 11th, 2025. Obviously the first big thing in the new DC universe. But the weird thing is that Fantastic Four has just started filming, and it comes out 2 weeks after Superman. So
maybe they'll film in 2 weeks.
Oh, so true. Didn't even think about that. Didn't even think about that. Clearly, I think it speaks to the post-production quality that James Gunn is going for with Superman versus Fantastic Four. I don't think it means Fantastic Four is probably going to get delayed till November. But it's just insane that like two giant movies like that, one is wrapped for a year-long post-production and the other one is like, all right, we're just getting started. Here we go. Like, how do you plan on doing that in 1 year? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then the other bit of Superman news is DC has been doing this for its last couple of releases, is putting together a box set of comics that inspired the new Superman movie. And so the ones for James Gunn's Superman will be All-Star Superman, Superman for All Seasons, Superman, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, and Kingdom Come, which I think are 4 very good Superman stories that'll give a hint to what's to come. So yeah, very exciting for Superman. Obviously, I'm very excited for that. So, and then the last piece of news is Marvel has some new release dates. So, next release dates for Marvel are Captain America: Brave New World, February 14th, 2025. Then Thunderbolts, May 2nd, 2025. The Fantastic Four: First Steps, July 25th, 2025. And finally, Blade, November 7th, 2025. Now, if I'm a betting man, I think that Fantastic Four is going to move down to November. And I think Blade is going to jump into the untitled Marvel spot of February 13th, 2026. Then there's Avengers Doomsday, May 1st, 2026. An untitled Marvel, November 6th, 2026. Avengers Secret Wars, May 7th, 2027. Untitled Marvel, July 23rd, 2027. And Untitled Marvel, November 5th, 2027. If I had to... That is. So that was 3 2027, 3 2026, and 4 2025 after just 1 in 2024. If I had to guess as well, I would say Spider-Man 4 would come in between Avengers Doomsday, which is May 1st, and Untitled Marvel November 6th, probably a summer release in there. But yeah, we're getting some stuff soon. I would assume probably a Shang-Chi 2, Doctor Strange 3 in there. But yeah, getting some stuff for phase. Are we on a phase 4? We on phase 4? Yeah, phase 4.
We're in phase 5 now.
Phase 5.
You got to throw in another Spider-Man movie. You can't.
I think Yeah, we need more Spider-Man, and it better. My God, it better be small scale. If they put him on Battle World or something stupid, I'm gonna be so pissed.
You just want to see him picking up, saving cats that are.
Yes, I want him struggling with his rent. I want him saving people from like stupid stuff. I just want Spider-Man.
Fair.
But yeah. And that's it for news. And then we have one trailer. Squid Game Season 2.
I watched that.
Okay. I've never seen Squid Game, so I have very little stake. Can you explain?
Fair enough. So do you know anything about Squid Game at all?
I've seen the Mr. Beast video.
Okay, so you know but in the Mr. Beast video, the stakes aren't as high because he's just a bunch of influencers or just some randos, and they're just like, all right, well, you lost. You can go home now.
Yeah, but you die in the thing.
In the show, you like die. And that was just like crazy.
Yeah.
I remember watching this for the first time or just watching the show with some friends, and literally you're like, oh my gosh, it's like this, like it's this show, and they're they can win a ton of money, and then they just start like sniping people like during this race, and me and my friend are just like, dude, what the hell is going on? Honestly, I enjoyed the first season. I think it's something that probably should have stayed as a single season like show. It did not need a second season, but obviously I'm not in charge. So season 2 is coming out, I want to say later this year or early next year. I can't remember the release date off the top of my head, but off the trailer, it just kind of gives classic Squid Game vibes, along with like the music. Have you heard like the music? Like they're kind of like scory. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I honestly kind of mess with it. But the point is, like, I think it's interesting because if they would have released another season, like right after, or at least like a year after, dude, I watched Squid Games the first season as a freshman. I'm going to be a senior watching the second season.
Yeah.
It did not need to take this long to make a second season if you're going to make a second season. Like I'm interested to see if this show will have the same chokehold on people that they're potentially expecting, because I don't think it will.
No.
I mean, because you have something like Stranger Things, that summer of my freshman year, they released the last season, but people are so sucked into Stranger Things that they're like, all right, as long as they make the last season good, like people care about these characters. It's like, dude, it's Squid Games. It's not that deep. So honestly, I might watch a couple episodes, not sure how much, but just kind of depending on how it goes. But yeah, they should have released this at least like a year ago, max. But we'll see.
Yeah.
All I got to say about that.
That's Squid Game talk. Let's get into Trap.
What?
Trap is M. Night Shyamalan's newest experience. A father and daughter attend a pop concert where they realize they're at the center of a dark and sinister event. Starring Josh Hartnett, Ariel Donahue, Salika, who is Lady Raven, and then a great M. Night Shyamalan cameo. Let's do non-spoiler first, which is going to be hard for this movie. But let's start with Chuck. What do you think?
That was mid. I was very excited. Like when I saw this, what? I mean, I thought it was. When I saw the trailer, I remember talking about it. I can't remember if Jack, you were here yet. I think you were. But like, I was all in on this. I was like, this looks awesome. Like such a clever idea. I thought the concert was like long, but okay. Well, I don't want to get into like the nitty gritty. Basically, I think it ran a little long. It gave Argyle vibes where I thought it was going to end multiple times and it didn't. The acting was like, eh. The writing at the beginning was just brutal, like tough to listen to. Like when they're in the car and walking to the concert, you know, it's like, it was, for me, it was pretty tough to watch. A couple times where I just kind of like chuckled. I was like, what? That's just like an odd thing to either say or do. Yeah, I wasn't super impressed. I had kind of high hopes. I thought it was a really cool idea, and I didn't think that they landed the plane very well.
I feel pretty similarly. I liked a lot of this and also didn't like a lot of this. So I'm a little torn. I have less issue with the dialogue and the acting just because I think that was a deliberate choice by Josh Hartnett, which we can talk about in a minute. I just think that the beginning, the part in the actual concert, I thought ran too long. I thought that was a far bigger chunk of the movie than it needed to be, because the second half I thought was a lot more interesting. And I kind of wish we had more on that outside of the concerts. I did like fake, like Lady Raven. I thought that was funny and like pretty fine. And honestly, the music wasn't terrible. I don't know. I really like M. Night Shyamalan, and I feel like this was a wonderful idea that was not fully realized, because the idea is so interesting. And I just wish it was better, because I think the idea deserved a better story. But yeah. All right, Jack, and then we'll go into spoilers.
Honestly, I had a good time. I liked it. I think definitely there are areas you could pick at if you wanted to really pick at this movie. But overall, as an experience, I had a great time. I thought Josh Hartnett was just awesome. I thought he was so, like, his performance alone, I thought was like enough for me to potentially go back and see that movie again. That's
Yeah.
how I felt. I thought he was just awesome. I think there's so many scenes where he's funny, kind of scary. And my initial worry was like the trailer showed a lot. But actually watching the movie, the trailer didn't show anything. Like it showed maybe a couple things, but it was not enough to necessarily ruin that experience because there's so much that takes place that is not even shown in the trailer. So yeah, I thought that I kind of agree with the concert. I think sometimes it did maybe run a little bit too long in there. And I did particularly love uh M. Night Shyamalan's. It was his daughter, correct?
I believe it's his daughter.
Yeah, I thought the music sounded good. I wasn't. A lot of people are like, "Oh, like her performance was like fantastic." I wasn't as big on her performance as most people are. I thought the acting kind of outside of Josh was a little iffy for me.
Yep, she's the daughter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I totally understand how this movie is getting mixed reviews, but overall, I walked away from that and I was like, that was a good movie. I had a good time. I'm sure there's definitely some stuff I could kind of dig into it for, but I guess we could get into spoilers now.
Yeah, let's get into some spoilers.
Let's go for it.
All right. So I think the acting that Charles's point, I think was very deliberate. It seems like he was playing the part of being a good dad, where in reality he was the serial killer, the butcher the whole time. So like when he was that, I think he was a lot better, and I think that was the choice to make him a little awkward when he was just being the dad. I just really think that when they're at the concert, it was good suspense, and then it just dragged too long. And then when it got out of the concert, I was like, all right, we're back. We're back in a little groove here. We're working. We're going good. He should have killed somebody. I think either Lady Raven or even just the driver guy, like he should have done something where it was like we saw the snap a little earlier than just the ending with the wife, and then getting tased and like laughing while he's leaving. I think it should have been a little more.
We watched him burn that woman, and she like went
yeah,
to the
but not
hospital
really.
and
We just like we saw him throw it in there, and then he like walked away and then exploded in the distance. Like I don't know. I just feel like for someone being called like the Butcher, where they set up a whole fake concert just to catch this guy, he should have been a little scarier or a little bit more than just having a guy in a basement on his phone.
Well, my initial impression with like the Butcher, it sounds like he's not as much as like an instinct kind of like, oh, I'm going to like kill someone, as more as less like it sounds like a serial killer that's kind of like has their moves planned out. And obviously that's how it was revealed that he was very much like the OCD is just to a max. I mean, I don't know if like literally just the details of him, like the towel in the bathroom, he had like readjusted it to be like perfectly like aligned.
Yes.
Like, there's several parts of the movie where his OCD is just absurd. And honestly, I love that factor where basically his character is like everything has to be in order. Like he doesn't make mistakes. And that's like the conversation with his wife. I loved that scene. I thought that scene was awesome, where he basically just like walks through like, I didn't make any mistakes, so it had to be you, you know? And obviously I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more, some more conversations between him and his wife before this scene, but I still think this scene worked perfectly for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I just expected more from M. Night. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I just expected a more captivating movie. The concert wasn't as big of a deal to me. I just think some of the acting was lousy. It kind of screamed just like a nepotism movie, like trying to get his daughter out there at times.
I think I want to. Man, go, keep going. I have a complaint.
Yeah, the OCD, like the way that they portrayed the OCD was cool. I just think that, like Hunter said, it took a while. I kind of agree. We didn't really see that like really cynical side of him until the end, and even then, like we didn't see him kill anyone. Yeah, I just expected more. That's kind of it. I do think Josh Hartnett gave a good performance, though.
Yeah, I think Josh Hartnett was great here.
I don't think there were many other great performances.
I have a great performance, and it was it was the true villain of the movie. Jodie's mom.
Yes.
The friend's mom was the most annoying evil person I've ever met in my entire life. Like I was like, this woman is the true villain of this movie. I was like, I hope that he like the butchers her. I was like, she is awful. When she grabs him and is like, you're not going anywhere. I was like, this woman is awful.
Yeah, she's
well, it was funny because she's like, I don't know if you know this, but I have a dark side to me. And he's just like, I don't know. I thought that part was funny because she's like yapping like, oh, you wouldn't think this, but I have a dark side. Meanwhile, he's got some dude locked up in like a second house garage that he has. Like, I don't know. I thought this movie was funny. I was not expecting it to be funny.
Yeah. It did have some good moments.
I thought the humor landed. And like the end, they're like the mid-credit scene or whatever. I thought that was hilarious.
That was great. That was
because the entire time he's helping him, I'm just like, this guy's gonna look on the news like tomorrow or the next day and just be like, I hope this guy. And then it's literally as soon as it popped up, I just started like laugh. It was so funny.
So M. Night obviously known for his twists. I think that the twist in this was that there wasn't a twist. Like we knew everything from the jump, right? Like there wasn't anything that was a big twist, I would say.
I think the twist for me was like that the wife had turned him in.
Yeah, I guess.
Obviously, like on the surface, he's trying to play this family man and he's trying to hold it all together. And honestly, I thought the scenes where he was basically like, I don't let these two lives connect.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like twitching out, and he's like, and he's literally getting like, when he's getting like taken away or whatnot, he's like, make sure to like do well on this project or something. Like he's literally just going like full dad mode as he's getting like taken away, or I don't remember what scene necessarily that was, but he's like,
just before he went down the trap, he was like walking around the house.
I'm trying to. It was in the driveway. I don't remember if they like, because the kids weren't there
goodbye.
when he gets caught. Like initially, and they take him in the car. His daughter comes and gives him a hug, but like other than that, the kids don't really say anything. I want to say it's like when he has Lady Raven in the car and he's about to like drive off with her, and then the kids like show up in the front of the driveway.
Yeah,
and then the cops are out front, and then okay.
I don't know. I think it. No, go ahead.
No, I thought Josh was like fantastic. Like when I say
I thought he was really good too. I think the story let him down. I thought it'd been vastly more interesting. And look, the movie's choices are the movie's choices. I just think it'd be way more interesting is if that final sit down with the wife, the reveal of her kind of telling on him would have been, I think, more interesting if she was also the butcher. And she was like, you got sloppy. It was time to get rid of you. And then like they come in, they get him, and you see her like fake crying and like with the kids again. And then kind of smiling as he goes off. But then, he can escape because he had the bike spoke. I don't know. I just think that would have been a better twist or something, that like that's how he got caught, was like her instead of, I don't know. That's just I guess was my own preferred ending versus what actually happened.
Yeah, I think if they put her more in the movie, I would have maybe accepted that a little bit more. But I think especially with how much they had her in it, I just don't know if I really would have cared if they were just like, I don't know. As much as like I just feel like he puts on this family man persona, and he's like taking his daughter to this concert, literally like trying to be like a dad at a Taylor Swift concert. Like, oh my gosh, let's have some fun. Like, how are the girls at school? Like, da 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 da. Literally just trying to get some time with his daughter, and his wife notices that he's making all these, or basically that he is this person, but instead of directly telling the police that it's her husband, she just kind of like leaves. And honestly, I think that played well into like how they knew he was coming,
Yeah.
I think it perfectly described it, and it didn't for me, because I was like, okay, well, how do they know he's coming? Like, how I was like very interested to see how they kind of cover all these areas that were at one point unknown. But I think that conversation between him and his wife really, tied that up pretty good for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm going to go see this again. I do. I mean, maybe it doesn't hit as well in the second time, but I will go again just to see Josh Hartnett again. I have not seen a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies, so I guess I'm fairly. I've seen The Sixth Sense. That was like the first movie my dad showed me, and he was like, "You're gonna sit there and be like, what the hell?" At the end of that movie.
I think his movie last year was better than this one, which was Knock at the Cabin. I think Knock at the Cabin is much better than this. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this is what I was assuming. So essentially, whenever Cooper's character would be having a conversation with someone, it would literally like lock into them. Like the camera would be like this.
Yeah,
close
I think it was like his focus.
Like his focus, and he would just be like locked in on whoever was talking to him. But then it would cut away, and it'd have like just like a normal shot of like the surrounding atmosphere whenever someone else was talking or something. I don't know. I loved that because it shows like this guy's just in his head right now. He is so like, how the hell am I going to get out of here? But I don't know. I really liked it. Maybe I liked it more than what I gave it on Letterboxd, but I guess we'll see. I might go see it tonight. I have no plans. So
there we go.
All right.
All right. I think that was Trap 2024. M. Night Shyamalan, the renaissance of Josh Hartnett, who is in The Bear, season 3. All right, let's do this ranking. So we're doing an MCU draft. If it's off the board, it's off the board. Can't take it. 5 movies each. And actually, before we start this, I saw a thing on Twitter this week, and people were talking about it. Who the MCU, like the main MCU timeline, and who is the anchor being for the MCU? I think it's pretty obviously Spider-Man, right? It's Peter Parker.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's either Spider-Man or She-Hulk. Those are our 2 options. So, all right, how do we want to do? We want to go. I think I went first last time, so why don't we do Chuck, Jack, and then I'll go third, and we'll snake it. Does that work?
I think I always go first.
Do you actually? All right, let's go Jack, Chuck, and then I'll go last.
That's fine. I'll go.
I think you know that you need to go first, Hunter. I don't think you've gone first yet.
I thought I went first last time in our draft. Did I not?
We had movies you'd want to go see in theaters.
Yes, and then
I want to say I went first.
You did, and then I went second. So then I'll go first, Chuck second, then you're back to third.
Sure,
we'll go that
cool,
way.
Man.
All right,
I'll be first next time. Okay.
Yes. All right. Let's not get lost in the snake, fellas. Let's not get lost in the snake. All right. Damn, first is hard. I won't lie. All right. See, it's tough because I also, are we doing MCU shows? Is that allowed or just movies?
I was thinking we should allow shows. Yeah.
Okay. We can
projects. Yes.
Okay. So here's where I'm torn because like I have some that I know are not quality wise as good, but I like more. So that's where I'm a little torn here. I think though for number 1, I'm gonna go with Guardians Volume 3. I think Guardians Volume 3
really
is the best movie that the MCU has put out. It's not my favorite. The MCU's put out is actually my second favorite. But I do think quality wise, it is superior to my number one, and so I'm gonna go with Guardians Volume 3, and it is just incredible. I think story.
I was gonna
I
say
thought that was
that
gonna slip to me.
I didn't.
It would've
I thought I was
if I
gonna
didn't
get
take
it 3. I thought I was gonna get it 3.
If I didn't take it, Chuck clearly would not have apparently. So
Yeah, I wasn't going to. I was gonna save it for my next. Okay, with my one, I feel like I have to take Infinity War. I mean,
Yeah, no,
oh
it
my
was not.
gosh.
that was going to be my
Okay.
1-1 if I was the one overall. So yeah, I take Infinity War.
I'm in a tricky spot now. No.
Well, there's like
not
40 something projects, so you don't have
That's-
you have a lot of choices still,
that's a great that's
and you
Great
get back
point.
to back, so you don't have to feel too much pressure on this pick.
I think for this is tough. For my first pick, I'm gonna go with the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
I thought you were gonna say Iron Man.
No. And then for
Guardians
my
was like
second-
that true test for MCU. It was like, can we do the weird, wacky stuff? And it became like the one.
It did. I remember when that initially came out, and I was like so ready for it. And my friends, my family are all like, "Oh, this looks so goofy. Like, who cares about some stupid talking tree?" And then after the first movie, everybody's like, "Damn, dude, that talking tree, that made me tear up a little bit."
Yeah, talking tree made me feel.
This is tough. I'm gonna go with what I think is I'm gonna go with the Winter Soldier for my second pick.
Man,
I think it's just too good to pass up on. I think that's
You're
the fourth
scumbag.
best MCU movie. I think it's just so damn good.
okay.
I'm hoping even if the new Captain America can even just
If it can
grab,
touch it,
if it can
it's
just
like
touch it, you know what?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Just
I mean, the
scratch
whole
at
I knew that Bucky was the Winter Soldier, and I don't think anyone was really like, I didn't know that, but that reveal, the Winter Soldier is just so OP in this movie. And then unfortunately they had to nerf him in future movies, which totally sucks. But
yeah.
the Winter Soldier as a villain just rocks.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, one of Marvel's best, hands down.
Man.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
That's yeah. Okay. Well, I was gonna take Winter Soldier. That's cool. I didn't want that bet anyway. I'll take Spider-Man No Way Home.
No.
I had a feeling.
No!
Hunter was gonna take it. That's kind of why I was like, I should probably snag it.
Okay.
Probably one of my favorite theater experiences.
It's a
minus the
magical
line to get in because we got chewed out for quote unquote budging, and then we moved
did
to the back of the line. But it was such a great theater experience, and I think that has like some of the most like best rewatchability in all of the MCU for me. So number 2.
Man, this puts a damper on my plan here. All right, so I get back to back. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Iron Man 1, the one that started it all. I think that it is probably the best origin story ever. I don't know. Spider-Man 1 is really great though. It's truly incredible that it worked as well as it did, and obviously launched the MCU. So for that, it's hard to knock. And then I'm gonna go with I'm gonna do our first show off the board here. I'm gonna go with Loki season 1. I'm gonna go with Loki season 1.
Just do the full project. Just take all.
Okay,
all
I'll take Loki. All right, so I get Loki.
because I think it just goes as one full package.
All right, cool. Then I get Loki.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is amazing that one works as well as it does. Just because it's so out there, it's so weird, and like yet it is just it hits. Especially the first season is incredible. All right, yeah, that is my 2 and 3.
So here's the thing. There are some that I really want,
Yeah,
but Endgame is also still on the board.
it's still on the board.
And
On
I
the
don't
board.
really see how it's still on the board.
It's still sitting there. It's screaming to get taken. You get both Infinity War and Endgame. Are you kidding? You kidding?
I know, but like, I feel like that's such a cop-out answer. Like, that's
No one's gonna blame you. No one's gonna blame you for taking that one here.
Because you know that Jack's gonna take it next.
Yeah.
No, he's not. See, but I don't know if he is. I'm fearful that if I take this and he takes my other one, I'm going to be devastated. But also, I feel like I can't pass up Endgame at this point, you know?
Yeah.
I'll take Endgame.
You idiot. You idiot. You buffoon,
I'll take Endgame. I'll take Endgame.
Oh, man. I'm so happy. I was so scared this wasn't going to get back to me, but I'm going to go with Thor Ragnarok.
Okay, that's fine. That's going to be my 5th. That's fine. Whatever.
Those are not going to be on my list.
What a reach.
Love Thor Ragnarok.
Huge reach, actually.
And then I think...
What a terrible value pick.
Oh, wow. Real bad. Real bad.
Well, I go back to back, so it's like that was going to be picked by me either way.
Okay.
This is tough.
This is tough.
I'm going to go with the OG Avengers movie. My 4th pick.
That's a good choice. And it was also not the choice I wanted to go with, so we're good.
Yes.
I want to know what I didn't take. I want to know what I didn't take.
We're so bad. We are so
bad.
I have one idea. This was probably the other one I was considering.
I don't think you were. Now that after watching you think, I'm going to take X-Men 97.
Oh, great choice. However, does it count?
Yeah.
Does it?
I would say it definitely counts.
Does it?
Why wouldn't it?
Is it in the MCU?
I think it is.
You sure? Sure about that?
Is it not?
Jack, I don't think this counts.
I haven't seen it.
I don't think this counts, Charles. It is not in the MCU in the same way that you could not pick.
God, really?
Could you pick Logan? No.
I don't think that's the trajectory we were on for this. I was about to ask that question, but then it's like I feel like
exactly. So I think this doesn't count.
That's silly.
I'm leaving it up to you if you really want to take it, but I'm just saying.
That's silly. Okay, I got to get back to the drawing board. I was all in on X-Men 97.
Do you think it counts? Be honest.
I thought it did. I looked it up and it said it's standalone, so I guess it doesn't. I guess it doesn't. Whatever. Ooh, Echo's screaming my name. Now, here's the thing. Under MCU Multiverse Saga, it does have X-Men 97.
I understand, but I would say it's not in the main MCU. Like you couldn't, even though Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire show up in No Way Home, I don't think you could take Spider-Man 2 or Amazing Spider-Man 1. You know what I mean?
I guess, but I'm looking at the rest of the things under MCU Multiverse Saga, and it's all MCU shows.
I'll let you take it. If you really want to take it that bad, I'll let you take it because it is a great show.
But that feels like a cop-out now.
No. It is a Marvel animation done by the Disney Marvel world. If you want to take it, I'll let you take it.
You know, I don't want it anymore.
All right, cool. I'll take it. No, I'm just kidding. I
You
won't
can't
take
take it. You
I'm not
can't
taking
take it.
I'm not
Okay.
taking it.
He's joking.
I'm joking. Just joking.
Okay. So. Hmm.
Mm. Mm.
There are two that I want.
Well, you get one of them right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take Captain America: Civil War.
Damn.
That was the one I was considering.
Yeah.
The
That was the
original
other
Avengers.
one, right?
Yeah, Civil War is. I think Civil War has waned a bit in my. Like it's weird. Civil War like ebbs and flows and how much I like it. I don't know why that is.
I think with Infinity War, it's
I think Civil
perfect
War's
because
great.
it leads into it just so well,
Yeah.
especially with the feud between Steve Rogers and Tony Stark. I feel like it just the way they handled that was perfect.
Okay. I get two.
You sure do.
And it's my last two, so I really get to finish off here with what I think. Man. All right. I don't think anyone's gonna take this anyway, so I'll just leave it. I'm gonna take Spider-Man: Homecoming,
Okay.
Fair.
and last but certainly not least, I think I'm gonna take the first Avenger. I love the first Avenger. It has a sweet spot in my heart, that Captain America movie. So I'm gonna take Captain America: First Avenger, and that wraps me up.
I thought about taking that. I really, really like that movie.
I think it's so great. Like it is. I love his suit in that. Oh man, it's so good. All right, I'm out. I'm done.
Okay. Not having X-Men 97 really threw a damper.
Listen, I get where you're coming from, X-Men 97. I just don't think it's in the MCU. But also the multiverse saga. So it's like I don't know.
Crap.
Yeah, I know.
Crap. See, the thing is, I want to take Deadpool Wolverine, but I feel like all my movies are just like multiverse movies.
Yeah, all of your movies are kind of multiverse besides Civil War.
Can't take Guardians. I can't take Avengers. I can't take.
Shit. All of the Captain Americas are off the board. That's the only trilogy completely off the board.
Yeah, not surprised.
That's impressive.
I really like Black Panther. I really like Doctor Strange.
I like it a lot.
I'm gonna take Moon Knight.
Ooh. A little Moon Knight action.
Yeah.
You know what I was actually thinking? I don't think Jackson take it, so I'll say it. I was thinking Werewolf by Night for a minute.
I was never thinking that for a moment.
I really like Werewolf by Night.
I wasn't thinking that for.
I was also thinking Hawkeye. I like Hawkeye quite a bit as well.
While I'm making my pick, I want to give some honorable mentions. Mm-hmm. Shout out some movies that aren't gonna quite make the cut.
Yeah.
But shout out Black Panther real quick. Black Panther is a blast. I don't know. I think my last pick is.
No, I would take on Black Panther in a second.
This is a pretty tough one, actually. I think I'm gonna go. I feel like I've already gotten a bit and piece of what I want, so I think I'm gonna my honorable mention. I'm gonna shout out Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's where I think I was originally headed with this pick, but I already do have one of the Guardians.
You do.
And I feel like while I do really love Volume 2, I think I'm going to hold off on taking that with my last pick. And then shout out Doctor Strange. I think the original Doctor Strange is just like, I remember I saw that in theaters probably like 3 or 4 times, like literally with my grandpa, like back-to-back weekends. We saw it like 3 times. My grandma had no idea what was going on, but me and my grandpa had a great time. So I think that one is just kind of like nostalgic for me. I really like that one. But yeah, I think ultimately I'm going to go with Black Panther.
Nice.
I think it's hard not to
pick
Black Panther. I listen to the score every now and then from that movie, and I really like it. I think it looks really good, and obviously Chadwick Boseman just rocks, and it's so unfortunate.
One of the best villains in the MCU ever.
I know. I mean, Michael B. Jordan is just so tough. I wish they would have held on to him longer. I think that character, they really could have done something special with him. But
the one that I was really torn on taking was Shang-Chi. I really like Shang-Chi. I was really considering taking Shang-Chi. I was going to maybe taking the Eternals. I think the Eternals, especially on rewatch, has really grown on me.
Brutal.
I know. And then my hot take, which I think that while objectively Thor Ragnarok is a better movie, hands down, I might like Thor 1 more. I know.
That is a hot take.
I know it's worse. I know it's worse. Listen, I know it's worse. I'll be honest. I just think I might like it more.
Interesting.
That's a crazy take. Thor Ragnarok for a long time was my favorite Marvel movie. It was like, I love Thor Ragnarok.
On my MCU rankings on Letterboxd, of my top 5, I got one of the top 5 on my list. I only got Guardians 3.
Well, that would make sense. You had the 6th pick.
I did. It's just crazy that they all went like that.
Yeah. I think we can all agree Captain America, the Winter Soldier is like, I think that's top 5. Like,
it is
non-negotiable.
Yep, it's my number 4.
Yeah, that's
I think it's my number 6.
Should I recap what our drafts were? I'll do that real fast.
Yeah,
it's my 6.
All right. For Jack, he had Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers, and Black Panther. I had Guardians Volume 3, Iron Man, Loki, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Captain America First Avenger. And Chuck had Infinity War, No Way Home, Endgame, Civil War, and Moon Knight.
I'm not gonna lie, Chuck. Yours is like sneaky good.
Chuck went with the fan pick, I think.
Yeah,
Chuck
I know. And then you snuck in Moon Knight at the end. Like,
Chuck went with what was good for the graphic.
The massive team. Like, I think the public consensus is going to say that Charlie, like, hands down, like,
probably
killed us. I think
Jack, your list has a lot more personality though. Like, you picked all the great movies within each trilogy. Hunter picked like the second best movies of each trilogy. Besides Guardians 3.
I hate that you took Guardians 3 first. That's
so scummy.
That pissed me off. I was hoping you'd take. I know you're like a big No Way Home type. Like, I knew that was like one of your favorites, and I was like just praying that you would take that.
That's why I took it. With my 2, I knew Hunter was about to take it.
Yeah, hand up. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have rewatched that, but I saw that in theaters 3 out of the first 4 days it came out.
Wait, what one?
I saw Spider-Man No Way Home. It came out on a Thursday. I saw it Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday 3 times. So I saw it 3 times. I have not watched it since.
I saw it 2 of the 3. And then I've seen it twice since. And okay. I do think, though, in the same way I feel about Endgame, in the same way I feel about Infinity War, and honestly probably the same way I feel about Deadpool once it comes out, when you're missing the audience, it does hurt these.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a positive when it comes to Spider-Man, just because I think that it's coming. Like when I saw it the first time and even the second time, I was like, come on, let me see Andrew, let me see Toby. But then when I saw it again, and I was like, I know they're coming, I don't have to worry about it. I really could actually sit with Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and I loved his arc in that movie. And I think that it was so well done where it was like supplemental to, like, you could have so easily done, look at Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire the whole time, but they were just like a smaller part of like what really was the Tom Holland show, and I think that was like a good choice and really well done. So yeah. All right, that was our MCU rankings draft. I think some of those we missed. Also, we didn't really talk about WandaVision. I think season 1 is great.
Yeah, I agree.
Age of Ultron, I think sneaky is better than people remember. Same with Iron Man 2. I think another one that's underrated is the first Ant-Man.
I was
It's
actually
kinda one of
just
those
thinking
that runs under the radar.
Yeah.
Like the whole Ant-Man trilogy kind of runs under the radar, but I really like Ant-Man 1. I've been thinking about it, and this might have inspired me enough to do it. I've been thinking about doing a phase 1 rewatch, so everything up to Avengers 1, just because I haven't seen them in a long time. So maybe next week when we're on the pod, that'll be what I say I watched this last week, because it'd be kind of fun to do a little rewatch and see some stuff from like almost. I mean, Iron Man's almost 2 decades now, so. But yeah, and then next week, let me pull up the old calendar. I don't think any of us want to see Borderlands except for Jack, who is so bored he'll see anything. I saw a projection today.
That is unfortunately so true.
It's aiming at like a $15 million opening weekend. Like it's gonna just bomb at the box office. So, it's gonna do that, and so I think we might do our first ever director deep dive next week. I don't know. I'll let you know. Who do we want to do? We talked about it a little bit. Do you want to do that next week, or do an actor deep dive? Or
I'm interested in watching a director that I haven't necessarily seen before. Maybe just like pick a couple of movies that are like big in their filmographies and kind of going from there. Because
do you have anyone in mind?
Not necessarily. I think there's I'm not going to say like it's the film bro. I mean, there's like Nolan, Scorsese. I mean, not that I've already seen like all of their movies. Well, I have seen, that's not the point. Point is, I feel like there's some other directors that do make good movies. Like,
I'd like to do Michael Mann.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of, I really don't even think I've seen it. I think he has Heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heat. He had Ferrari this past year. I haven't even seen Heat yet. So I'm totally down for a Michael Mann deep dive. But then I think
we should do, I'll pick the 3 Michael Manns that we could do.
Okay. In the future, I'd totally be down to just like throw a Q&A out for
people want to see
some listeners as well. Maybe get some of that stuff on our list, just because, maybe some people want to hear us talk about a director they like, and I feel like that'd just be interesting to maybe like try and watch some movies that we wouldn't normally watch, or just get exposed to some different types of movies. So
I've gotten requests for
a Q&A.
I've gotten Studio Ghibli requests as well.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I would like to do that as well. All right, we'll figure out between Michael Mann and maybe a Studio Ghibli chat, because I haven't seen those. But yeah, all right. That is that it? That's it. All right. So for Jack and Charles, I'm Hunter, and hey, thanks for watching or listening. Have a good one.